Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 on PS5. Tonight it's round 16. We're heading to Marina Bay for the Singapore Grand Prix. So here we are then, coming off the back of a great strong recovery drive in the second half of Monza. We went with an unusual strategy. We went hards to mediums, which worked out well at the start, and then obviously we had that period where our tyres were old and we were being undercut by Verstappen on new tyres, but we had the better, faster compound at the second half of the race, and we were able to haul him in and get him at the end, although it was a little bit close. We did cut it a little fine, but we got the 1-2. George picked up his 8th win of the season and has reasserted himself at the top of the Drivers' Championship. So we head to Singapore, which was a pretty comfortable win for Lewis last year, if I remember rightly. So let's see if history repeats itself, or can George keep this momentum going? We did everything we needed to last night, I believe, but I'm going to do what I always do and just quickly have a double check just to make sure. Got lots of stuff going through at the moment. We've got, that's the new chassis, isn't it, that will be ready for the next race. New side pods should be ready for the next race. Suspension will be ready for the next race. So we've got spare front wings, spare rear wings, spare underfloors. We should be fine. And we've got older parts if we have any major issues as well. We've also got almost 10 mil in the bank, and I am toying with the idea of taking new engines tonight. I don't know, I might wait another race or two. Looking at the weather, we've actually got a wet Saturday and a wet Sunday. We're going to have some rain in Singapore. That's going to shake things up a little bit. Interesting. Right, let's see how our car stacks up against the rest of the grid for tonight's Grand Prix. You can see we've actually been topped in speed. I'm guessing that's going to be Red Bull that's done that. It is. Wow, Red Bull's car has really gone on a development kick recently. Look at that compared to us. Our cornering has dipped. We're no longer the fastest car, and Red Bull are looking mighty at the moment in terms of their performance. They're first in speed, first in acceleration, third in DRS, and first in medium and high speed corners, first in dirty air, which is important around Singapore, although we do have a slight edge in the low speed, which will help us because a lot of low speed corners here. It's going to be a real tough fight against Max again tonight, I think. Let's take a quick look at Ferrari. Ferrari not looking so good. Again, they're not bad in terms of their speed and acceleration. Good low speed performance, decent medium speed, okay in the high and dirty air. We thought Ferrari would do better at the last race, and they just kind of fell away a bit. I want to check out Alpine as well. They don't look to have really made massive strides on their car, but once again, we've seen Ocon put in some great performances this season. He could still be a factor of some kind in this race. Let's have a look at Aston as well. And again, I mean, their downforce is great, but their speed is average and their acceleration is appalling. This could be a strange race for Aston. You know, if they can stay in DRS, they're going to be a threat, but if they start dropping out of DRS, they might struggle a little bit. With that acceleration being as low as it is, we shall see. Is there anyone else we need to have a look at? I think that's pretty much it for this circuit. So, let's set ourselves some objectives for tonight. We're going to go, let's see, the incentive is 2 in the top 4. Okay, all of a sudden we've got a much more aggressive incentive. That's fine. We're going to get both into the top into the Q3 and both into Q2. The finish position 2 in the top 4 should be able to comfortably manage that. We'll go for the fastest lap as well. Finish position 2 in the top 6 and quali 2 in the top 6. Those are underway. Right, let's head to Singapore.
Formula One season continues here, in the Republic of Singapore. The Marina Bay Street Circuit is lit up and ready for action, looking like some sort of scene from a science fiction movie. But the competition is real, and nothing else can deliver quite like Formula One. Singapore's streets are a constant challenge for drivers, where one lapse in concentration can easily see them hit the wall. Downforce is the name of the game here, and teams will need to add as much as possible to gain an advantage.
In the Constructors' title battle, it's Mercedes who are currently leading. And while there are plenty of rounds left, the teams know their time is slowly running out.
Now let's get the weekend underway.
So, hello to everyone in chat. Teo's here, Mr. Water is here. Good to see you guys as well. Right. Let's see. Who do I want to drop today? I think it's George's turn, isn't it? Right, so we want to go soft tyres. Singapore, we normally do 17 laps, so we're going to go with 25 laps of fuel for Teo. Let's see. I've only got 3 setups in the book for this circuit, so which one do I go with? Let's go with the most recent one, which is 7.5, 15.5, 8.2, 2.75, and a 1. There we go. And we'll take out the good stuff, put in the not so good stuff. Oh, no, that engine's already dead. It's that one. We did this with a 60% engine last year, and we're pretty comfortable. Wonder if we can get away with that again this year. Or are we going to have to switch? Let's see. We'll take a little gander at the rest of the field in practice one, see what they're up to engine-wise. Right, Lewis's car, we're going to go with that engine. Both of his are now below 80%. That's not good. ERS unit number 2. There we go. And we'll go with that gearbox. Get the last little bits of life out of that gearbox. So 17 laps, drop the pace, and setup wise for Lewis, we're going to go with a 9, a 15, a 6.4, a 2.7, and a 1. There we go. Right, let's send them to the track. Evening, Junior. Quicker, radio check, given the state of Lewis's car in this session, so we'll switch them around on track.
Radio check.
Copy, radio check.
Yeah, radio's loud and clear.
There we go. Right, no patch yet. 1.8 has not gone live yet, so we're still going to have the long drift, no, not drift, coast. Up until the end of the straight in Sector 3, unfortunately. But hopefully that will be patched very soon. We know it's on the way, we just don't know when it's coming.
Okay.
Surface temps are low all round.
Yeah, that's straight. Right, hopefully we can get this setup nailed very quickly. I kind of hope that we actually need to kind of wing it a little bit, because I would like to get a couple more setups for Marina Bay into the book. As I say, we only have the 3 right now. Hamilton is keeping pace with Teo.
Just say what you'd like on the...
We've gone optimal. 97, so there will need to be a little tweak. Okay, that's good. A little bit of variety. Let's see what Lewis's feedback is going to be. And I'm actually going to leave Teo out there, so we can save a bit of mileage on the car. And only 69 for Lewis. Ooh.
Okay, copy.
That needs some work. See if Hamilton pulls away. Oh yeah, you can see straight away he's pulling away from Teo. Surprised at that. Oh, he's got a better engine now, isn't he? That's why. Right. Wholesale changes needed here. The rear wing's actually good, so this is going to be a new 15 wing setup. Let me check last year's book, see what we've got in there for some inspiration. And I don't have any 15s in the book for last year at all. They're all 15.5s. Okay, so we are going to have to completely wing this one. Let's start by moving the roll bar. So it needs to move at least twice. So it could be an 8.2. I'm going to go with a 9.1 though. I'm going to up the front wing to a 10. I'm going to change... Oh, that's too much. Okay. Need to pull the front wing back a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go to a 7 on the front wing. Let's go back to a 9.1. Can I make this work this way? I'm looking at that, and I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to see how that works. Everything looked okay. The only thing that might be off is probably the front wing. In terms of distance, everything else had the right sort of spacing that was needed. We might have gone a little far on the roll bar. It might be an 8.2, but we'll find out once this run is done. To qualifying and the race. Let's have a look what is coming up in terms of races. So after here we go Suzuka, Lusail, Kota, Mexico, Brazil, Abu Dhabi and Las Vegas. So there's still 7 more races to go. So we are going to need new engines, at least for Lewis, probably for George as well, if we want to stay competitive right to the end. It means we are almost certainly going to end up breaking the cost cap, but I think we'll be okay. Besides, we're not going to be around next season to suffer the penalty. Let's see. Suzuka is a tricky circuit. Lusail is a sprint. Kota is a sprint. Brazil is a sprint. So I want to avoid taking the penalty at a sprint weekend, because the penalties aren't applied properly in the sprint. So what should happen is we should go to the back of, get the demotion after sprint quali. So we start the sprint with the penalty and then fight our way through, and then that sets the grid. But it's not doing that. So we could start 5th and 6th in the sprint, get up, win the race, go 1st and 2nd, and then we then take the penalties from that point and drop all the way back outside the top 10 again, which is not good. So, yeah. Leclerc wants it with Suzuka. I really want to wait until Mexico to take the penalties. Because then we'll only get 4 races with that engine. Maybe we do take them here. It will briefly put us in debt. Not by much. But the board is still slightly pissy with us, I think, for going into debt. Or am I mixing it up? I think I'm mixing it up with my... I'm mixing that up with my Alpha file. How did we do with Lewis's second run? Up to 84%, so that's better. Still some work needed. Yeah, I think we might potentially take the penalties tonight. We'll plot the engines in, but not use them. We'll just use them in Q1. I suppose we better use them in Q3, really, rather than Q1. Right, end of the session. Tweaks are going to be needed to Teo. Changes are going to be needed to Hamilton. And Fernando and Perez have got penalties. Who else? Oh, wow. Hulkenberg, Piastri and Zhou. So, let's go to data view and let's do some detective work here. Leclerc is running a gearbox that is going to fail, so that's going to get replaced. It's going to have to. So we might see Leclerc take a penalty, because I don't think that's going to last 2 more sessions. Well, if it does, he's going to go into the race with a gearbox that will die in the race. Let's have a look at Sainz. Okay. Piastri's running a brand new engine, as we can see. Norris is running okay components. Max is running a better engine than George has. And a better engine than Lewis has as well. Checo's engine's even better, but Checo's been very weird this year, and he does have a new ERS unit. Ocon, okay, Gasly, new gearbox, new engine for Magnussen, new ERS for Hulkenberg. Zhou's got new engine. Stroll is running old parts. Alonso, new engine, new gearbox, new ERS. He's going new everything. Ooh, okay, so he could be quick. Right, yeah, I think we might have to take the penalties here then, if we want to have a chance of winning. There is a good chance of a safety car at this circuit as well, which will help mitigate starting further down the order. Evening Ultimates. Since Vegas is probably going to be similar to Singapore, will Mercedes have a shot of winning at that track? I don't think Singapore is going to be that similar to, or Vegas is going to be that similar to Singapore. Vegas has a lot of insanely flat out sections. I would say it's probably more similar to Baku than Singapore. We could possibly see Red Bull struggle again. You know, they didn't like the bumps at Singapore. Vegas could be bumpy, but they are resurfacing the circuit, or the roads. So we won't really know till we get there. But yeah, maybe we'll see. Evening Farah, evening Anthony. Good to see you guys. Right, George is back in the car. We need to make a little tweak to its setup, and it is the front wing. I am going to drop that by 1 and correct like that. Okay, there we go. Let's see. We want to run for 35 laps, I think. There we go. Will the parts get through? Yes, they will. Lewis, we need some slightly bigger changes. So the front wing is still off. Now the rear wing is off. Okay. So that means we are going to have to go to a 15.5 and probably a 6.5 as well. Everything else looks about right. Let's try that. See how that works. And we'll go with 25 laps for Lewis. There we go, and he'll be on the mediums. Check his car parts. Yep, they'll get through as well. Right, let's send them to the track.
Avoid all curbs. Avoid all curbs.
Understood.
Alright, so off we go. Danny Rick just binned it at Jeddah and lost your new front wing. That's unfortunate. On terabyte stick in and working well. I don't think it'll be any faster. But yeah, having extra storage is really good. I mean, it depends where you were storing games. I mean, if you were playing PS4 games off an external drive, then it would definitely be faster. Because you'll now be running at SSD speeds rather than HDD.
Lewis, if you can give us a balance check.
Right, there we go. Feedback for Lewis. We've got him up to 94%, so not quite there yet, but still a big improvement. Let's call him in and make another little tweak. See what needs to be done. Okay, so everything there is nailed. It's just the camber and the toe. I think it needs to be a slightly more significant change. So I'm going to try that. See how that works. There we go. Evening, Aiden. New to F1 Manager 22 and at Bahrain with Williams. You played 22 or 23?
Balance check.
And there we go, we've got George's setup nailed, so that's good, that'll go in the book. 22, okay, if you're in your first season, there is no good strategy for Williams because you are going to be massively off the pace, so just be prepared to spend a lot of time in the first season, you know, getting lapped. Just make sure you upgrade your car well. If you want to see how I did Williams, then I do have a whole 3-season playthrough of F1 22 with Williams on the channel. Yeah, first season will be rough because Williams are comfortably the worst team in the grid on F1 22, but they are better in this game. Some aspects of the game will have been patched as well. since I recorded or streamed those episodes, or at least the first season anyway. So you'll also need to be wary of differences between tyre wear now as opposed to what it was when I did those streams. And DRS trains are a lot harder to get out of. Well, not necessarily a lot harder to get out of. DRS is less effective if you play with those settings. Evening Marcel, good to see you. How are things weather-wise in the land of spiders? I just get this funny image every time in my head when someone goes, "Hey, what's it like in Australia?" and all I see is oh God, what's his name? I've forgotten his bloody name now. It was the king of Rohan. I can't remember his bloody name. Mine's just drawn a complete blank. Theoden. There we go. Just popped in my head. Yeah, all I see is just Theoden riding in front of his men going, "Death! Death!"
Check.
Yeah, that's what it's like in Australia. Yeah. Alright, Lewis is at 97. Another little tweak. You're going to say Mick Dundee. Power screaming like deaf blinders.
Can we check up shifts?
Copy that. Go.
Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so let's add this setup to the book. 7:15.5. Pen to work. There we go. 8.2. 2.8. And a 1. Okay, and let's have a look at Lewis as well, because that might be new for the book too. Yeah, it is. I don't have any 6.5s. So, 6.5, 15.5, 9.1. I don't know. I have got 191 set up. Yeah, and minus 2.7. And a 0.8. There we go. I wanted new setups. We've got 2 more in the book. There we go. Good stuff. Fantastic. Oh, actually, no, that's not 100%, is it? I still need to make a tweak. Whoops. Okay. Well, that has to go that way. So we'll make that little change. And I'll make the corrections in a minute if that turns out to be correct. Evening, Baron. And he's just caught up on last night's stream for the last few laps. Yeah, we had to work hard in those last few laps, but we got it. Once again, a dramatic end to one of our races. Okay, so soft tyres for Lewis in this session. 18 laps is more than enough, I think. For George, we want to go, let's see, 30 laps, I think. Gearbox is touch and go, whether that's going to make it or not. So we're going to swap that out. We'll put in the 44% gearbox. And Lewis is at 6%. That will last because we're only doing a few laps with Lewis. What is it? So many of my viewers seem to be going into witness protection and just changing their name. Russell is quicker than Lewis. That's because we swapped out the gearbox. He's quite a bit quicker, so let's be prepared for them to swap over. There we go. Now Danny Rick's brought out a red flag. It's not going well, is it, Anthony? Maybe he's just doing a crash gate for you. With Norris so high, he's giving you an opportunity to get a free pit stop in there. Right, is this right? 99! Ah! So close.
Rain is imminent.
Oh, I forgot about rain. Okay, that's going to be an interesting little spike. It's going to affect George. It's not going to affect Lewis. Lewis is done. And that has to go to there. So let's make those changes in the book. So what have we got? 6.5, 15.5, 9.1, 2.75, and a 0.9. Okay, corrections made. See how long we can keep George out before we run the risk of him putting it in the wall. He's up to 95%, so theoretically we don't need to push him all the way to the max. Minimal gains. He's still going to be in very high confidence going into quali. Track is now damp, and now we kind of need to call him in because the track water level's going up a bit too quickly. Like I say, I don't want to run the risk of him putting it in the wall just for the sake of staying out in the slicks, or getting tangled up with another car, or going very slowly on slicks. So is this the only rain we're going to see today, or are we going to see rain in quali as well? We know we're going to have rain in the race. Again, it could be like this, where we get a short spell and then it dries out again. Or the whole race could be a bit soggy. Yeah, there we see, 97%. That's pretty close. I think we'll call it a day for George. So let's just run through the rest of the session like this. And then we can hit quali. I'm still debating whether or not to run brand new engines here tonight. I think I'm probably going to do it. Like I say, it will put me slightly in debt, but that will immediately get, paid off when we end the race, thanks to our sponsor money. And it will give us a little bit more performance for the second, or for the final 7 races after this one. I'm going to try and run an older engine tonight. We'll just bung the new one in for Q3, just to get the penalty out of the way. Don't get sacked before George becomes champion. No, you don't get sacked until a review. So you get 1 in mid-season and 1 at the end of the season. We've already had our mid-season review, so yeah, if I do end up getting fired, which is highly unlikely, then it won't happen till the end of the season anyway. You can afford to break the cost cap and get away with it in terms of the board, as long as you don't go too badly into debt. We'll go fractionally into debt for a day. As long as my the board confidence in terms of race results is high enough, which it is. Yeah, I mean, they've been delighted with all but 3 races this year, I think.
Let's hope the teams took full advantage of practice. It's time for qualifying.
And it's a wet one.
Executing the perfect qualifying lap around Singapore comes down to absolute precision. The circuit needs high downforce and a good suspension to maximize grip on the bumpy street surface.
Esteban Ocon there, Karun. What's the feeling around him at the moment?
They must be feeling good after their fast lap times in practice. Confidence can do great things for a driver, so I'm excited to see how they handle qualifying.
And it's almost time for qualifying. You won't want to miss that.
Nice to see that Esteban gets a little shout out there. Like I said, we've been watching him do very well in the last half a dozen races or so. Okay, so parts. Let's just see what... it's tricky because we're in the rain, but I want to see what kind of pace we've got on these engines, because these are the engines we'll probably run tonight, even though we are going to go ahead and take penalties. We're going to have to go onto that gearbox now. Need to sneeze. Yeah, just about managed to fight that off. Let's go with that gearbox. I'm wondering if I maybe need to take a new gearbox for George as well. That's got to do 7 more races. That one's not going to be viable after today. Once it hits 40%, it's done. You know, it's then penalising the car. So, can I get 7 Grand Prix? Well, 7 and 3 of those are sprints. So I think we might need to take another gearbox for George, or his first gearbox penalty tonight for George. Again, it means he's going to drop down the grid quite substantially, but this is the circuit to do it with, a high chance of a safety car, and we're throwing new engines in. Maybe we run the new engine with George for this circuit. Although, having said that, 84% is better than what Lewis has got available, so yeah, maybe we don't. Right, so we're going to go 78% engine, and 50% ERS will be fine, and 85% gearbox will be fine. We have got the gearbox for Lewis ready and waiting. Yeah, I think we're going to have to take another gearbox for George. I just don't think it's going to last, all the way through the season without starting to dip in performance. Let's put 2 laps of fuel in the car because, we know what the track is like. It can dry up very quickly. Let's see how we do. Right, send them out now before it potentially ticks over to a slightly higher level of water on the track, and then we'll make sure we send them out again at the end of the session because it looks like it's going to potentially go dry right before the end. We'll have to watch out for that. If our weather centre's calculations are off, which is possible because it's not the greatest weather centre, then we could get caught out and get eliminated very early on here. Am I going to be a different team after I've done this season? Yes. Well, this will be the end of our second season with Mercedes. We won the Drivers' Championship with Lewis in Season 1. We're on course to win the Constructors' Championship comfortably, and it's a battle between George and Lewis for the Drivers' title this season. And then we'll move on to Pastures New and try build up a different team and hunt down the beast that we've created. Is 81% setup good for the first race? Yes, it's not bad. I mean, if you're racing with Red Bull, then the setups are less important because your drivers are good and the car is very good. But, setups become more critical to get 100% when you start getting, when you start with lower teams, because they need that little stat boost.
All clear ahead. Good to
Okay,
go.
water level has crept up ever so slightly since we left the garage. We are getting close to wet territory, which is why we want to get these laps in now, just in case it gets any wetter. Which it is on course to do, as you can see. In fact, in about 3 minutes. So we might only have time for 1 flying lap here. But it will dip again towards the end of the session and maybe go dry right before we finish. So it's a question of, do I gamble with slicks or do I just top it out with inters? Lewis slightly faster in the first sector. Lewis is going to have a Haas to negotiate, I think, possibly. There's a Ferrari out there somewhere as well. There it is. Nope, that's the Haas. Maybe the Ferrari is... Oh, there's the Ferrari. And now it's in a position where it's going to start hurting Lewis. Rain's going to come a bit harder in the next lap, so I'm just going to call George in. Alright, so Hamilton wasn't penalised too badly. Still P2. 3/10 down, that's not too bad. There we go, we're in full wet territory. And a bunch of cars are doing a lap in this condition. Are they on wet tyres? They are. And here comes the the downgrading of the water. Oh wow, that's plummeting. That's something I'd like to see change. It just drying up so fast like that, I think it's a little bit too unrealistic. The way it just suddenly switches so quickly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it dropping at a steady rate, but to just plummet that quickly like that, it's too much, I think. We know that some tracks can dry up very quickly, but, you know, not that quickly. Got 2 minutes until dry weather. It's going to be dry in... Yeah, it is going to be dry for a flyer, so we are going to have to go on to set of softs. 1 lap of fuel. We get 1 shot, basically, at this. Yeah, we just have to wait for the track to do its thing. It could get very crowded in this final section. And these guys who are going out now are not going to have time unless they're going on slicks already. Oh, they are. Yeah, there's a few guys that have already gone out on soft. So they've gone a little early, but they have made that move. We're still waiting. I want to go out with about 3 minutes left. Although we are running the risk of getting caught in some traffic. And we're going out right behind Perez.
With the warm-up. Yep.
Soft, medium, soft would probably be a better strategy.
Oh, that's critical.
Just be careful, you don't push your tyres too hard. Right, those times that we've got at the moment at the top of the board, they're going to get obliterated. Everybody's going to improve here. The question is, by how much? Already, Hulkenberg and Ocon have gone through faster than us. Ocon not by much. Hulkenberg 5.5 seconds faster than us. Oh, Ocon, if he's on an in-lap. Oh, he's on inters! Oh, Ocon. You're getting eliminated, dude. Ocon's out. Guarantee you Ocon is out. Everyone's improving, look. There goes Max.
Circuit's all clear. That's magic, good to go.
Lewis has got clear track in front of him.
It's all clear
We've got Perez a little bit further ahead of us, and then a couple of back markers who should peel out of the way. Oh, George. Hopefully that's not going to cause too much of an issue. Hulkenberg might get eliminated as well, actually, looking at these times. Right, Lewis about to hit a big wad of traffic here.
So that's checkered flag.
Oh, no. No, no, Ocon. Don't do it to us. Thank you. George is going to be fine. Lewis goes P3. Russell's going to go through. Perez goes P2. Russell goes P5. Still a little tricky to figure out exactly where our pace is at the moment because it was such a chaotic end to the session there. And Hulkenberg and Ocon are both out, as predicted. Piastri's gone. Is Magnussen going to join them? Probably. I think Bottas will outperform here. Coming up to the line now. Bottas goes 13th. So yeah, we lose both the Haas in the first section again. Piastri and Ricciardo are out. And Ocon went out on the wrong tyres and is last for now. There are penalties to be applied. But that's such a shame for him. It'll be interesting to see how well he climbs up through the order. He could be on for driver of the day material if he has a good race. Right. Let's get back to the garage. Let's go ahead and buy those new engines. And we'll buy George a new gearbox as well. So that's 11 million we spent. We're going to be about 2 million in debt until the end of the session. Oh, that's gearboxes. There we go. Well, till the end of the race weekend. Let's slap those in for Q3. We're starting on dry tyres. Going to go 2 flying laps. Weather permitting. It is going to rain again. We're only going to get time for maybe 1 flying lap, but we'll try for 2.
Do some work on the brakes.
In fact, just to make sure we give ourselves a better chance of actually getting 2 laps in, I'm going to take manual control. Certainly do their outlap faster.
to start reducing that management.
Copy.
There you go.
Think about lift and coast.
Yep.
Push and hold, overtake.
So we've got 4 minutes now. So theoretically, this lap, cool down lap, rain might start falling on the partway round the. But it will start falling partway round the second flying lap. It's a question of how quickly we can get through and how quickly the rain falls. Let's have a look. It's going to fall quite quickly. We might still have to abandon the second flying lap. As long as we get through, that's the important thing. Someone behind us is going faster. That's probably Alonso. With his brand new engine.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Roger.
Oh wow, Hamilton half a
These
second
tyres
quicker.
Nick.
I'm a little worried for Russell now.
Let's charge that pack.
Actually, given some of these times, we should probably be okay actually. Oh wow, look at Norris putting in a lap. Oh, and Max absolutely smashes it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have enough time to get around and start another flying lap. But I think we'll be okay. We're half a second ahead of Stroll. Stroll's not going to have time to do an improvement either. He's way further back than we are. We're going to box Lewis. But we're going to keep George on track and see if we can maybe squeeze an improvement out of the car. Just in case. George is less safe than Lewis.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Copy.
Oh yeah, the rain immediately starts falling, and look how quickly it's falling. So we're not going to improve on this lap, but nor is anyone else if they do another lap. So
Reduce your speed.
George is safe.
Copy.
And that is your grid order for Q2, because it's not going to get any quicker. So we're losing both the Williams, Schumacher, and both of the Alphas. Bottas going out doing his lap now. He's going to be so slow. Alonso looking to improve. He's not going to. Nobody else is going out because there's no point. So there we go. Right, we are definitely off the pace. We are going to need to run those new engines if we want to win this Grand Prix. Oh, look at that. Full wet weather for the final session. We're not going to bother running the final session. There's no... Well, actually, we've got to... Well, no, we don't have to. As long as we've got the parts installed, that's all we need to trigger the penalty. Will that ERS unit be okay? I'm going to take the risk. We will put in the new gearbox. There we go. So that's penalty parts for George. That's a 20-place penalty. Lewis is only taking a new engine, of which he's already taken one, so this should theoretically only be a 5-place penalty, but who knows. No, I'm going to run anyway, just in case, because we should have taken a penalty with Lewis last time, and we didn't for some reason. Let's see if we can maybe do that with George as well. Just in case it doesn't apply the penalty, it's better to be safe than sorry, I think. We'll run him just in case. Because if it doesn't apply him and we just stay where we are in P10, what was the point? You know, we could have had pole. Right, let's have a look at the track. It's not going to get any better. So let's send them both out. Oh, we sent them out on the wrong tyre. Or have I? I have. Alright, I've sent Lewis out on the wrong tyre. Chance for George. Assuming nothing bad happens, chance for George. Oh wait, the weather's going back up again. What is going on? Screw it, I'm not going to take the risk. I'm going to send him out on the wets. The rest of the field's on wets as well.
Understood.
It's too close to the 4 for the inters to be super effective. And if it does tick over 4, the wet's easily going to be the better tyre, and the inters will fall away very quickly. So, yeah, we'll play it safe. It is going back up again. Ironically, George is possibly in a better position than Lewis here,
Pick up those rear brakes.
because the wets don't really kick in until about 4.1. If it stays like this for the first part of Lewis's lap, might not be quick compared to the other guys. We're in that weird crossover state, and for some reason Lewis has a very average mid-80s wet weather skill, or adaptability skill for when the tyres are in changeable conditions like this. So yeah, with a little bit more water on the track, not too much, but a little bit more, George has got every chance of being a few tenths quicker than Lewis here.
So the circuit should be all clear. Good to go.
We're only supposed to get light rain, and this is full wet territory that we've had in both practice and qualifying. So I wonder if we're going to get full wet territory in the race as well, or if it is just going to be more intery. Are we going to get much, if any, drying, Brendan?
They're ahead. Good to go.
Right, let's keep an eye on those sector times. I say times, let's keep an eye on those sector colours, because we don't have sector times. Well, not ones that we can easily compare anyway. Lewis is still fastest in the first sector. Someone's beaten him. George not quite there. So who is that that's gone fastest? It's Max. Of course it's Max. Or is it Max behind us or in front of us? It's Max behind George. So yeah, this is what I was kind of playing in, saying, it was playing into in terms of that little bit extra water. Making it a bit easier.
Currently a P1.
George
Box.
is slightly slower. Possibly, I'm not sure. I didn't see whether he actually set that before Max crossed the sector. Lewis is pole at the moment with a 140.4, comfortably ahead. At the moment, 4/10 clear of Sainz and Perez. Here comes Russell. What can George do? It's now getting a little bit too wet. He goes P2, 3/10 off. What did Max do? He goes faster.
P2.
I did say the Red Bull was going to be a threat here, looking at their car breakdown before the Grand Prix, and that's bearing out here. I want to see if Leclerc has changed his gearbox yet as well. Or is he still running a really, really old one? I switched for a different one. Was it Leclerc? I think it was Leclerc, wasn't it? Yeah. He's running a better gearbox. It's still a knackered one, but it's better. And I think that is probably going to be grid order. We'll box and we'll try again. But second and fourth at the moment. The other reason actually we've got to run is keep the sponsors happy. I completely forgot about sponsors. Especially since we've just gone 2 million into debt. we definitely need to please the sponsors. Alright, let's see what we can do on this second run.
Be careful with the warm-up.
So Lewis has got very high confidence. He's just below peak. George a little bit lower.
Copy.
I left it a bit later than the rest of the grid for a couple of reasons. One, I was hoping that the water level might dip a little bit, which it kind of has, but hasn't that much. And two, just in case there's a yellow flag, I didn't want it to ruin our chances. Whereas if we're this far behind them, then if someone does have a whoopsie and puts it in the barrier, the yellow flag will hopefully clear before we get there. The level is just slowly creeping back again.
And circuit's all clear.
And there we go. There. Oh, there's a red flag. Okay, well, that's it. No one's improving.
Red flag.
Session's going to end. And we don't see what happened, but it was Sainz who binned it. Look. There's the X next to his name. So Sainz might be having to take penalty parts. What was he at? Can we see what he was at before he crashed? Or this is not going to show us what happened after he crashed, I don't think. Yeah, he might be changing his gearbox. Well, maybe not his gearbox, but he might be changing his engine, and he may be changing his ERS. Depends what kind of impact he had. If he had a spin and went back, arse first into the barrier, then he's going to do some serious powertrain damage. If he hit front on or side on, then his powertrain's probably going to be fine.
Race day has arrived, and the time has almost come for these drivers to fight it out, wheel to wheel.
The walls around Singapore force the cars close together, and even the best can waver in the tight spaces. Back in 2011, we saw Lewis Hamilton clip Felipe Massa as the two battled it out. There were certainly some words exchanged after that one, as I'm sure you recall. We're under clear skies here tonight, certainly to the team's relief. Now they can focus their strategy on pushing their cars as much as they can.
So whose engine will roar loudest today? Unpredictable times ahead here at the Singapore Grand Prix.
All right then, moderate rain is predicted. Let's see. We are starting 9th and 20th. It's a 10-place penalty. Why is it a 10-place penalty? It should only be a 5-place penalty. Unless they changed the rules. I didn't catch on that. Okay. I can't grumble too much because we should have had a penalty for Lewis with his gearbox and we didn't. Maybe it's applying the penalty that we didn't take. So maybe we've got 2 5-place penalties. Right, strategy-wise, we can ignore all that because we've got rain. So let's have a look. That's probably the crossover point actually for Inters, and then it will potentially dry up right at the end for slicks. We're looking at about there, I think, for Inters. And then we're looking potentially at bolting on a set of softs around about there. What do you mean preferential treatment? Lewis got a bigger penalty than he was supposed to get. That's not preferential treatment. Question is, do I go mediums and try and tough it out? It's a bit risky. Do I go hard? Well, there we go. Hards will go the distance. What about softs though? What if I go soft? Let's have a look at what happens if we go soft. And then bolt on another set of softs at the end. We have plenty to choose from. It's slower. But there is that risk of safety cars or VSCs. Why did George get 19th? Because he's taken a gearbox as well as an engine, so that he's not going to end up taking performance losses comparable to that Lewis isn't going to have to take later in the season. It's avoiding preferential treatment, which is why he's taking a bigger penalty here. Don't forget we did the same with Lewis, where he took multiple penalties and George barely took any earlier in the season after the Barcelona debacle. I don't know. I mean, that is quicker, but that will give us more room to push. There's a good chance that we might get a safety car, which would allow us to come in and make that stop under more favourable conditions. Choices. Do I stay out and try and go for track position, or do I Go with the grip. I'm going to go with that because I think the AI is probably going to go soft and then maybe go soft medium, or go medium and then go something else. So we're gonna go with that. So let's have a look. We want to box around about lap 29, which means probably want to box them out lap 15. Yeah, and then we want to throw on a set of softs around about lap 56. There we go. So it's not the fastest strategy, but it's the more flexible strategy. We are going to take 4 laps of fuel out. So I'm going to take 3 laps out and be just more aggressive with fuel in the earlier parts of the Grand Prix. We're going to really hammer the tyres at the start. We're going to hold on to the battery. And the one good thing for George starting at the back is that he's going to have a lot of very slow cars in front of him that he can quickly overtake and get straight into peak confidence. It'll be a little bit trickier for Lewis to do that, but hopefully he can. ERS at 50%. Yeah, I'll chance it. Right, let's go to the grid.
The drivers are almost ready here in Singapore as we get ready for 61 laps under the lights. This could be a big race for that man right there, Lewis Hamilton.
A special milestone as they head into this race. 350 race starts under their belt now. What an achievement.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today.
Oh, that's a cool
We're
little
just
thing.
moments away from the Singapore Grand Prix.
350 race starts. That's Mercedes, I think, rather than
And it's lights out,
Lewis.
and away we go.
No, it might be. Might be Lewis. But it's predictive. That's what I like. It's not. You know, it's looking into the future, which is something we didn't get at all last year. So I like that they've added that into the commentary. Again, saving the battery because we want to be able to just ease our way past. Now we've got enough pace to stay with the pack and maybe even sneak a place or two anyway without using the battery. Schumacher's up in 8th in that AlphaTauri. Heady heights. Norris is up to 2nd. He just overtook Sainz. Let's have a look at Sainz. Oh, we haven't done a lap yet. I want to have a look and see what Sainz's powertrain situation looks like. Yeah, field's starting to space out a little bit more as the batteries are being deployed. And this is another reason why I want to save our battery, so that when theirs runs out, we can just go flip a switch and just power past with no real issues at all. Oh, look at that. A lot of cars have started on the hards. Okay, he's going to make these next few laps very important. Need to get our drivers up into peak confidence very quickly. We're going to push this set of tyres very hard. And I'm going to start the battery now.
Use the overtake.
Yep.
Push and hold, overtake.
Yep.
Let's also get them going into aggressive.
Okay, let's go for it.
As the Haas makes a move on Ocon. He's nearly having a look at Schumacher there, who's out of DRS range of Tsunoda. So he'll be very easy pickings.
enabled.
He might even get it before the DRS, actually. Yes, we did. Okay, can we get the acceleration to get off the back of Yuki? Yes, we can. Hulkenberg has made the move, and this is where George should start to sing. Up the inside of Ocon. Hamilton's already all over the back of Tsunoda. We got a yellow flag and a VSC. Oh, okay. That makes things interesting. Well, we can save our fuel. Unfortunately, that's going to allow a lot of other drivers to rebuild their batteries.
Right, let's have a look here as we go into turn 8.
The Alphas have taken some lumps out of each other.
The
Oh,
moment of impact,
Bottas.
and the car
Big
leaving a bit of
understeer
paint
moment
on
there.
that barrier.
Very late
Now,
on the
their confidence
brakes.
will have taken a hit with that.
And is that a retirement?
It's not go-
I think it probably is.
Okay, I see a VSC. Keep the delta positive.
Yeah, copy.
It is a retirement, yep. I had a feeling it would be.
Yeah, roger.
If it was just damage and a returning to the track, he would have just brought out yellow flags, I think. Well, this now hurts us, this VSC, for multiple reasons. One, it makes it a little bit easier for all the guys who are starting on the hard tyres to just get, to the end, or get to the range with a little bit more grip. And two, those batteries are going to get some extra charge in them. So that's just made our fight through the order a little bit tougher. But on the plus side for us, we're going to get some fuel saving done, and we're going to cool those tyres down, ready to go again, and we'll hopefully have full batteries rather than half-charged batteries that the competition will have as well. So we should still be able to jump forward a little bit, just maybe not quite as much as we were hoping. I did consider bringing Russell in and switching his tyres to something more durable, but I'd rather he gain that confidence by cutting through the field box and then keep his confidence sky high by cutting through the field again, so that he goes into the wet weather section of this Grand Prix in really, really strong shape. Same with Lewis, for that matter. Evening VXR. The audio is awesome. Yes, it is. I do like the audio. Oh, and there we go. VSC is ending. So let's go straight on the attack.
Copy.
Let's get after it.
Tsunoda's vulnerable.
Just stay close to him.
And there we go. That's the move done on Tsunoda. And George gets Hulkenberg. Yes, he can. Right. Piastri up next, then Zhou. And then he can scamper onto the back of Ricciardo, who's also vulnerable because he's outside of DRS. As we head towards the old Singapore sling. And George's favourite wall. Somebody actually marked that on Google Maps. Somebody pinpointed the wall and marked it as George's favourite wall on Google Maps. It was both cruel and hilarious at the same time. And there we go, straight past Zhou. So already George's confidence is right on the edge of peak confidence. Lewis has already hit peak confidence because he's got past Gasly as well. Excellent stuff from Lewis there. We missed that. He's right on the back of Stroll, who is also vulnerable. And has been passed. And next up are the two Ferraris. And Norris is sticking with Verstappen, although Verstappen's on hards, Norris is on soft, so that kind of tracks. There we go, great move from Lewis. That is his confidence maxed out and he's on a charge. Let's check in with George. He's passed Ricciardo, so that's George now into peak confidence. And bearing down very quickly on Albon. Perez only 11th at the moment. We're on the Ferraris already, which is half a, well, 2/10 off the back of Leclerc. Might be going for the move here. Didn't quite get it. Can George get Albon here? No, he can't. Driver confidence doesn't carry across between races. It resets every race. So, yeah, in reality, it would be a huge confidence boost, but in the game, no. Right, we're out of battery. Let's start charging. We're going to have to dial the tyres down a bit now as well.
If we could just drop back a bit. Yeah, we just need to make sure
We'll keep pushing the fuel though.
On the time.
As George gets the confidence boost he needed to get maxed out there. Getting past Albon, and now he should get an easy run on Hulkenberg. Under braking. Not Hulkenberg, sorry, Magnussen. No, he's not. Not yet. Hamilton's got sights. I missed that, and I missed the replay as well. Welcome back, Adam. What happened to Russell? Nothing, he had a penalty, so he started further back, that's all. But he's already fought his way up from 19th to 13th.
There seems to be some great loads of resistance.
Lewis is going to make a move on Leclerc here. Who again, vulnerable on those hard tyres and also not in DRS range of Norris, who has now dropped off the back of Max. Russell gets the move done on Magnussen. Next up is Schumacher. So both drivers cutting their way through the field here. Hamilton just goes around the outside. Beautiful move. Oh, we've got another VSC. And now I think I might well take advantage of this one.
2 secs. There's been a crash.
And let's box onto mediums. And those are cars that George has already passed. Oh, Ocon clips the wall, I think, maybe, and Piastri goes flying into it. There's bits of Piastri's car bouncing away. And the only people we're going to undercut are the people on softs, because everyone else is going to go to the rain. So we're only going to undercut Alonso and Norris. They're the only two drivers we're going to undercut. Right, let's go ahead and box for mediums, confirm, and box for mediums. It's going to break our planned strategy, so I'm going to have to correct that before they get to the garage. Oops. Confirm. So let's go ahead and edit those now. So let's change that to mediums. There we go. Updates. And same for Lewis. Put Lewis on wet, so he won't have to stop later. Yeah, nice drive, Barry. It's not. You know that's not going to happen.
BSC. Delta positive.
Understood.
So this is going to drop George to the back of the grid again. But he'll be good to go to the end of the Grand Prix. He's at peak confidence and he'll have brand new tyres. Lewis is going to drop probably down to around about Albon Ricardo, I would think. So he's going to be right down the back as well. George will have clean track as well to just really pump in some quick laps, whereas Lewis will have to fight his way through a bit.
Okay, copy.
Quick stop for Lewis, 2.0. Here comes George. For Lewis, for George as well, slightly quicker than Lewis. Oh, and Hamilton has actually dropped all the way to the back. Okay, I thought he'd actually come out ahead of a couple of cars. Coming up to George's favourite corner. Right, here we go. Didn't get as much battery as I was hoping.
Okay. And just have a think about getting the pack back up.
Let's get these
DRS
tyres
has
up to
been
temperature. Oh, and Ocon's pitting under racing
happy to
conditions.
push it down.
Ocon. Just a
We just
weekend
need to
of
introduce
weird
a little bit of
decisions.
lift and coast. So 50 metres at the most.
So 9 seconds between our two drivers. Both still in peak confidence. And should be in a position to top that up very quickly as well. Or at least Lewis will definitely be able to top that up pretty quickly. Russell will take a little bit longer, but he'll get there. Yes, that is my lighter clicking. I normally mute myself, but I have a habit of then forgetting to unmute myself when I use the lighter. So I then talk for 5 minutes and then someone goes, "Jim, on mute again." Usually Anthony, Sarah or Mr. Walker are the ones that give me the nudge. Right, there we go. Tyres up to temp.
Just need to make sure we keep these tyres in good nick.
Just to reduce your speed.
Used to have a Zippo, but I don't know where it is. I think I lost it years ago. And here we go with Lewis closing in on the back of Hulkenberg. Should be in range at the end of the lap. Yeah, Norris is on a little bit of a push right now, but his tyres are going to degrade. Verstappen will going straight through to the rain. He's on hards. Norris is on the softs. So Norris will have to stop at some point in the next 10 laps. Can we look at Norris? I suppose. There you go. Sainz and Leclerc battling as well. There's the two Ferraris in the background. Can Norris get the move done? No, he can't. Hamilton and Hulkenberg. Hamilton might have just given DRS to Hulkenberg there. He did. So he's going to defend. Should be able to. Fresher tyres. Better car. Much better car. And a driver in peak confidence as well. There we go. Move done. Right, what did Ocon go on to? He went on to mediums as well. So he copied us. Just, he didn't do it at the right time. Is Norris going to get Verstappen? No. I doubt it. Like I said, his tyres are going to fall away pretty quickly. So even if he does get by, he won't stay in front for very long at all. Maybe half a lap. Who's my gut feeling on winning the championship, Lewis or George? I'd like it to be George, but I've got this sneaky feeling that Lewis is going to do it. He's just got higher stats where it counts. But having said that, Lewis has not improved any of his stats in the last 3 months. George is still improving. Not by much, but he is still improving. So we'll see. Lewis will win purely to annoy Farah. Yeah, possibly. my video game has become sentient, aware of Farah's hatred of Lewis, and gone, right, screw Farah. There we go, Hamilton up to 14th now. You can see Ricciardo's tyres falling away, below 60% now. Norris almost out of DRS range now. There's George pootling along, but lapping 2 seconds a lap faster than Hulkenberg at the moment. So he'll be on him pretty soon. And Hulkenberg is going to have to stop. Hopefully we can catch him and pass him before he does, so we can get that little top up for George's confidence, because it's almost out of peak now. It will just naturally degrade over time without overtakes to boost it. How much time do you normally lose in the pits? Here, quite a bit. I thought we would have lost a bit less under VSC conditions, but apparently not. Right, we've caught the back of Ricciardo and Albon. Should make quick work of both of them, I hope. As Russell's now under 5 seconds from Hulkenberg, so he should be on him in a couple of laps. You bought the game, made Lewis 8-time champion on the first season. Yeah, so did I. Right, Lewis is going to get the DRS here on Albon. I really hate to see cars go side by side through there, because it usually ends badly. But there we go, he's through, he's up to 12th place. 3 seconds to Magnussen, and 3 seconds between Russell and Hulkenberg. And Russell 2.5 seconds faster than Hulkenberg on that last lap. Verstappen is pushing at the moment. So is Alonso. Look at Alonso, 1:36.1. That is quick. We've already broken the DRS to Albon, which is good stuff. George getting close and might be in striking distance of Hulkenberg with the second DRS straight here. He's reeling that gap in. Favourite driver and team? Don't have a favourite. I tend to support the drivers more than I do the teams. And as a natural result of that, I tend to support the British drivers more than other drivers. But I appreciate talent. That said, I don't like Max's attitude. It's like early Seb. I hated Seb in his early career because he was just so arrogant. Old Seb was awesome. Right, Magnussen boxes. And Norris has boxed as well. Norris has gone mediums. Let's see, what does Magnussen go for? Couldn't see what colour walls were there on those tyres as Russell is past Hulkenberg. It's another set of softs for Magnussen, so he's sticking with the strategy that we were going for. Oh, he's got problems with the jacks. Slow stop. Hamilton past Schumacher is up to 9th place now. 20.9 seconds off the back of Max though. That's not good. We will close that gap as the rain gets closer. Russell, only a few seconds. Yeah, it's 31.2, so he's lost a couple of seconds. He was what? He lost about 2-3 seconds in that kind of ballpark. About 2 seconds, I think he's lost to Lewis since the VSC. But Lewis has had DRS overtakes, quite a few of them, whereas George is only just getting into that area now. So we'll see George start to go quickly again. And he's back, topped up in his confidence as well, still in the peak. Lewis is still way up there because he's been getting more consistent overtaking, but as I say, George is about to start getting those overtakes himself. Just, breezes past Joe there. Norris up next on those new mediums. That will be a tougher challenge. But we'll probably have to get through Ricciardo and possibly Albon before we get the chance to attack Norris. Norris is going to get the move done here, or at least he should do. There he goes. Going to get the inside line into the braking zone. Batteries are about full, so let's turn them back on again.
Use the overtake.
Push and hold it, overtake.
Can we get Ricciardo in the braking? I can't wait for the patch to sort that straight out. Alonso boxes, so Lewis now up to 8th place, closing in on Yuki. And we just dive bomb Ricciardo there. And a move that Danny Rick would be proud of. He made his name with moves like that. Norris has already passed Albon. And then it's 4 seconds to Schumacher. Hamilton on the back of Tsunoda is going to get him on the DRS straight. Sweeps around him there. And Russell gets Albon in the braking zone. That was a great move because he's going to get the DRS as well. That's going to launch him straight onto the back of Norris. We might get Norris before we catch up to Schumacher here. Superb move. Lewis is already on the back of Stroll. Looking good for us at the moment. Cutting our way through the field quite nicely here as George sets the fastest lap. Lewis gets side by side and with the DRS will make that a very easy move and straight onto the back of Gasly. Here comes George on Norris. Ricciardo and Hulkenberg in the pits. How many more cars are yet to stop? That's an easy move for George. Let's see. That's it. No one else is stopping now until the rain falls, unless we get another stoppage. Lewis now 16.5 seconds off the back. George 26.5 seconds off. Those gaps are coming down nicely. And Lewis making his move on Gasly in the braking.
So we're low on battery at the moment.
Beautiful stuff.
So just charge that back.
And Russell getting past Schumacher. Excellent, and his battery is now empty as well. Great charge through the field we're seeing here. And there's Norris trying to make his move on Schumacher in the background. Gets side by side, and who's gone fastest? Alonso has gone fastest. He's on soft, yeah, that makes sense. We are going to have to wait until the end of the race when we go back onto softs after the rain to try and get the fastest lap, I think. Tyres are looking okay. I'm actually going to turn the tyres up slightly.
Happy to start reducing that management.
Norris is on a push. He's going to try and retake the position here. All right, take it easy, Adam. Thanks for stopping through. And we'll see you next time. Alright, so I'm actually going to listen to a very sweary George complain. I'm going to let Norris complete the overtake so that we can get some battery into Russell's car nice and quickly by staying in the DRS and just going into full harvest mode. It'll be a temporary blip to the confidence. Oh, he's got the DRS, look. Norris should retake the position though. Evening, Victor. It's going to be close. Did we just give up the DRS? I'm not sure. Yes, we did. Okay. Well, we're quick enough to stay with him. George continues to swear. It's all right, George. This is part of the plan. Calm your tits. Lewis has broken away from Gasly, so we can calm his tyres down.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
15 seconds off Max now. The gap is coming down. Once again, Lewis is closing in on the back of the Ferraris, who have gapped each other a little bit now. Perez up in second. That's quite an improvement. He was 11th, you know, what, 10, 12 laps ago. are closing in on Stroll quite comfortably, 2.5 a lap. There is the wet weather warning. Lap 29 was when we thought it would come. Might actually be lap 31 now that we make the switch to wets or to inters.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
AI is looking to push a little bit more. Alonso is now up to 11th and is very quick on those softs. That's Stroll and Tsunoda in front of us, just disappearing off the screen. Just get back into the equation. Yeah, Norris now does have a big tyre advantage over us. But we have the better car.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Yep, fine.
Just need to make sure keep these tyres in good nick.
Still lapping faster than Max as well with Lewis and with Russell. And Lewis is almost onto the back of Sainz. It's going to get a little bit messy in front of George here. Three-way fight. Chance for Lewis to get past Sainz here. We'll put a little bit more battery in Lewis's car. See if we can pick a spot.
The rain is
Rain's
falling.
starting to fall. Whereas George just sweaty. You can never quite tell. It's going to be slow starting as well. Right, this is where we go for it with Lewis.
And just charge the pack.
Should be a comfortable overtake.
Let's just keep it up.
There we go. Hamilton up to 4th place now. And we're going to try and punch our way past Yuki.
Push and hold, overtake.
Copy.
Oh, what the hell? Alonso jumps us. We'll take that back, thank you very much. And we'll get Yuki in the process. Nice stuff. Right, now we'll push on, get back onto Norris and Stroll. Lewis and Sainz still battling. Sainz going to give us the DRS. Yes, he is. Good man. Right, we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to sprint Lewis.
Use the overtake.
Understood.
Alonso is through and sticking with us. I'm not shaking him.
And just have a think about getting the pack back up.
So happy to push now.
Yeah, copy.
Thought for a second George was going to have a think about going up the inside of both of them, but thought better of it. Should get a run on Stroll in the braking zone here. We do.
Charge the pack.
Excellent stuff, and that gets George back into peak confidence at a very crucial time with Alonso looking to make a move on his teammate. Gets up the inside, and he'll have the traction, and we'll complete that move. There we go, it's through. Sainz has stayed with us. I thought we'd been able to drop him. Apparently not. Lewis still in peak confidence. But Ferrari's looking feisty. But we're almost on the back of Leclerc. Just make sure we get onto the back of him. That'll help us defend against Sainz. It's going to be close. I think we just missed out on the DRS though. Oh no, we got it. Excellent stuff. So we can calm that down again.
Just need to stay on top of the lifted coast.
And we have got Norris between us and Alonso, but we've given up the DRS to do it. Just hold Norris behind. There we go. We're in range of Gasly, so we should be safe now. And George is up to 7th. Still not wet enough to think about inters yet. We need that rain to get up to about 0.7. Lewis going for the dive bomb on Leclerc and gets it done, but he's going to give up DRS to the Ferrari.
Got every chance here.
Need more power.
So anything could happen, Lewis. Let's just keep our heads down.
If we can keep Norris between us and Alonso, that will be ideal. Norris has got better tyres than we do. So he should be able to defend more comfortably than we can. And we might be able to get Gasly. I would love to be able to charge, but with Norris and Alonso close behind, I don't want to fall back into their clutches and get overtaken. Likewise with Hamilton, I like to try and charge Hamilton. Sainz is still lurking. Let's just make sure we stay behind Leclerc here.
So just charge that pack.
Looks like we're going to be boxing maybe the end of this lap coming up. Now we're going to push the tyres. I don't want to go flat out. I don't want to risk breaking something right before we get to
Pick up the pace.
our pit stops. I think we stick with it another lap after this one, maybe. Yeah, it's tough to call. If we box too early, we're going to lose ground. We've worked so hard to make that ground up. Alonso's got past Norris. Let's see if we can get past Gasly here. We'll make the move to the inside. Should get it done under braking. And does. I'm going to take a gamble with George. I'm going to box him this lap, because I think there's going to be a huge flurry of activity in the pits next lap, and it's going to catch him out.
Box, box.
Yes, box.
I might have gone a touch early, but like I said, I'm wary of him getting caught in just a melee of traffic. We're right on the cusp of the Inters being viable. This could potentially work nicely, or it could lose him a little bit of ground, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's look after the tyres on this lap,
Reduce your speed.
because they are going to get a little toasty.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Coming.
Need it to still get wetter. Next lap is when it's going to go. I'm going to box Lewis now.
So box, 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 box.
So this lap.
And we'll box, box for the Inter.
Again, taking a slight gamble. Have lost a couple of seconds, but the tyres aren't on fire yet, which is a good sign.
All clear on exit.
And the amount of time that we're losing on track, yeah, it's not great, but it's better than losing it in the pit lane, where we'll just get held and held and held as cars come in. Probably could have gone to this lap and boxed at the end of this lap, but never mind. It is too late now. It's done. going to start to turn up the pace a little bit on those tyres.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Let's see what happens to the temps. Immediately goes a little high. Okay.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Copy.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that...
when this rain comes, it's probably going to come very hard, very quickly. So, being on the tyre at the right time. And here we go. You can see Perez, Leclerc, Sainz, Alonso, Gasly, Norris all diving into the pits. Max has missed his opportunity.
Push.
And there you see we've actually come out in fourth with Lewis. We haven't lost too much time. The track is definitely into conditions now. Lewis is managing to navigate nicely. George has got himself back up to 9th. So we lost a couple of places, but we avoided all that carnage in the pit lane. So yeah, we took a temporary, a short-term pain for a long-term gain. That's the way I like to look at it, because we've got quite a gap now to some of the cars that we were potentially going to get caught up with. And our tyres are up to temperature, whereas the guys who've just boxed are not. Max has got such a lead that it's not going to hurt him too badly. Everyone else has boxed, apart from Hulkenberg, who's just leaving the pits now. There we go. So this is it now until the end of the rain. This is looking like it's going to be a dominant win for Max, I think. Unless we can really hunt him down at the end of the rain. Let's see if that has changed its prediction a little bit. Oh yeah, it's looking less and less likely that we'll actually have a little dry spell at the end. Maybe if George is out of position, we might just box him and go for fastest lap, but we'll see what happens. We did close the gap a little bit to Leclerc, although you can't really see because of the timings showing the inclusion of the pit lane there. How come I didn't push with Lewis? We've got to do a fair stint on these tyres, and I want them to be flexible. I don't want to burn them out so quickly that I've got to be a little bit more, conservative with them later. But I am going to turn the batteries up in a moment. I mean, we knew that coming into this Grand Prix we were going to struggle against Max, given how he performed at Monza and the fact that his car is much more suited to the circuit than ours currently is. And we had those penalties as well, which dropped us all the way down the order. But we've got upgrades coming for the next Grand Prix, and we've now got a brand new engine, and for Russell has also got a brand new gearbox in the bag. So I think we should be very quick again in Suzuka. Right, let's unleash.
Use the overtake.
We're actually losing some time to Alonso at the moment,
Okay.
which I'm a little surprised at. Then again, Alonso is running brand new everything in this Grand Prix. Did Max box? Yes, he did. He's back to being about where he was in comparison to Perez before the rain started. All right, there we go. So Lewis a second faster than Max at the moment, and Leclerc as well. And George a 1:38.8, fastest man on track right now. 1.5 seconds faster than Alonso. And the fuel saving will be much easier in these conditions as well. So we don't have to worry about fuel saving. We can just keep going at this pace. As you see, Alonso and Norris just in front of us, and then Gasly is a further second up the road.
So we are low on battery at the moment.
It's closing in on Charles.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
Even Derek. Right, it's going to gradually, steadily get wetter to about probably 2 mil. Maybe 2.5 at a push by around lap 50-ish, and then it'll start falling away again. It is plateauing, so it does look like we will towards the end, and then dropping off. So it does look like we are still going to have a small window for some dry running. But at the moment, if we're in a battle for the lead with Max, which is not looking amazingly likely, but if we are, with Max, then we'll box opposite. If he stops, we'll stay out. Having said that, we probably won't box if he doesn't box, because I don't think there'll be enough time to close a 25-second gap. Even if we are on the right tyres, and they're not. I don't know, it's one of those circuits where the Inters will overheat very quickly. A lot of braking, a lot of hard turning corners. I don't know, maybe put those tyres on full push. If you've got a full battery, maybe some fuel to burn as well, could go mega fast in comparison to someone on Inters. Maybe 5 laps would be enough. Right, let's just turn the tyres up a touch.
Pick up the pace. Yep.
Don't want to do this for too long with George. His tyres did take a little bit more punishment as he boxed up that lap earlier than Lewis, and did start to overheat slightly. We definitely stopped, I think, at least 1 lap too early with Lewis and 2 laps too early with George. But, you know, benefit of hindsight, you know, I'm not immune from making mistakes. But we didn't lose out too badly. You know, I think we lost about 3 seconds, 4 seconds with Lewis, maybe at the most 3 seconds. 4 or 5 with George. Maybe 6. But no more than that. No more than 6 seconds. Leclerc looks like he's pushing. Yeah, Leclerc's on a push right now. Let's see, Russell still keeping pace, still gaining slightly on Norris and Alonso. Gas is on a bit of a push though. Any issues during the race? Because 9th and 4th are unusual without damage. We started with penalties. We took new engines for both drivers and a new gearbox as well for George. So Lewis started in, what was it, 12th? Russell started in 19th. Track is drying up again. Should start to get wetter again from now on, which is good. I don't want these tyres to overheat. Got to go another 15 laps or more on these tyres yet. I'm going to leave them on this setting for a while. See, we're down to just a kilo of fuel to save with Lewis and Russell, which is good. Leclerc still pushing. Norris with a slow lap, that holds up Alonso. That's them two fighting, allowing George to close the gap. Half a second quicker on that last lap. Race like this, when it goes to wet conditions like this, definitely takes the sting out of the race a little bit. We were very quick in the dry, cutting through the field beautifully with both drivers, and it's just kind of crawled to a bit of a slow dance now. Oh, was it 9th and 19th? Thank you. Oh yeah, I forgot about penalties for Perez and Alonso. Russell definitely making some strides now, although the tyres are starting to get a little toasty. Alonso is definitely having a tougher time getting past Norris this time round. Don't have enough battery to force my way through yet. And Leclerc has stopped his charge, so we can try and bring that gap back down again now. Yep, it is coming down. Hamilton back to within 2 seconds. As they come up to the line, a 1:39.1 and a 1:38.2, so a second faster for Lewis.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Yeah, coming.
Calm the tyres down for a couple of laps.
Need to make sure we keep these tyres in good nick.
Understood.
The reason I'm doing that is because I want to go full attack. Fuel, tyres and battery to make these overtakes, because we're going to need to in these conditions without DRS, especially against Alonso. Gasly has dropped off the pace as well. He's been caught. He was a couple of seconds up the road.
Just keep the pressure on Lewis. You can do this.
Just going to give George one more lap.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up. Okay. Use the overtake.
Right, here we go.
Yep.
Got to get it done quick. He's looking not quite able to do it. Can we get him here? Under braking. Ah, not quite. I'm out of battery. Come on, make the move. There we go. Now use that battery. Beautiful. Right, we're through.
And just charge the pack.
Understood.
Let's turn our attention to George.
Overtake.
See if we can punch past Alonso here. This is tricky because Alonso's getting the benefit of slipstream. I'm being so close to the back of Norris here. George's confidence has tailed off a bit. Go on, go on, good lad. Beautiful stuff. See if we can get our way past Norris here as well. Cuts to the inside. Can he get alongside? Yes, he can. Excellent. That's the move done. Have we got enough battery to get the move done on Gasly here as well, which would be perfect to get him into peak confidence. Not yet. We'll save the battery to the next DRS zone and try again. It's getting very hot.
We'll just have some PU cooling.
Yeah, copy.
Just cool the car.
Couldn't get there. Okay, so let's calm those tyres right down. We'll sit behind Gasly for a couple of laps and then we'll go again. Lewis has started to edge away. Let's turn those tyres back up again. See if we can start to hunt down Perez. I'm going to stick with George and make sure that that gap doesn't open up too much while we're cooling those tyres. Ooh, yellow flag, red flag. Ooh.
So red flag.
Interesting. We are going to get a lot of dry running. What happened?
Now we're at turn 11 now.
It's Max. Ah.
And that's
Max
the
is
moment
out.
the car plows into the
We're
wall.
on for the win.
And they'll have to pick themselves up after that.
Oh, Max is out. And it's going to be dry. Okay. We're going on to softs. And we've got 2 sets of softs to choose from. We're going to go with that one. Confirm. We're going to have lots of fuel as well, because it always seems to give us loads of fuel. Hopefully we'll have full batteries as well. Farah's pissed. Lewis should take this, but we can probably get George up onto the second step of the podium. And he'll probably get the fastest lap in the process, because he'll be having more DRS than Lewis will.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
So that would mean George would stay top. We've already punched away from Sainz. Oh, Perez still in the lead. I thought we had him for a second then. It's a little frustrating, Jay, but it's not a major bug. You know, there's a lot more important things that they can fix before they do that.
Just have a think about getting the pack back up.
Right, Leclerc
Understood.
is next. We have got ourselves past Gasly, so that is a nice little confidence boost for George there.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Copy.
And Gasly's been dropped already. George has got a chance to jump the Ferrari here. Let's give him the battery again. We can get him past Leclerc and onto the back of Sainz for when the DRS kicks in. That would be brilliant. I think we've quite got the pace here. Yeah, Leclerc is still pushing himself. All right, let's save the battery a bit more. And then we'll try and really attack again next lap. I don't want to cool the tyres down just yet. I want to stay close. Joe on mediums. Interesting choice. But he didn't have any softs left. Alonso looking at the outside with Gasly, which will become the inside. Didn't get him. Lewis gets the move done on Perez. And now we're going to go full attack, see if we can break away.
Let's just keep pulling the gap.
Two Ferraris blocking George at the moment. It's a very defensive line there from Leclerc.
So happy to push now.
Okay.
George gets alongside, so we are going to have position on Leclerc here, and then have a run at Sainz, who will not have the DRS. Can we get both Ferraris here? Nearly.
Nice one.
Nice work. If we could just drop back a bit.
We have broken Perez just.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
I want the Ferrari to get the DRS. Yes, there we go. Not Ferrari to get the DRS, we want Ferrari to give us the DRS. There we go. Now we can sprint with what little battery we've got, try and break away from Sainz, try and get closer to Perez. Very happy George. Makes a change from sweary George that we had earlier on. So we've broken away from the Ferraris. The plan now is to get George onto the back of Perez and try and get him charged up quickly, so that we can do the sprint past him as well. I think we've got more than enough pace to be able to beat Perez. with both of our cars here today. Just got to watch out for the Ferraris trying to sneak onto the back of us again. Perez will start to push again soon. I'd like to try and get onto him before that happens. I don't want to sacrifice tyres to do that. Rather keep some rubber back, just in case. So if it stays like this, then Lewis will take the lead in the championship. If George gets into second and Lewis gets the fastest lap, it'll be all level again, but Russell will still have top spots with 8 wins against 4. And if Russell gets second and gets the fastest lap, he'll be 2 points clear. We are gapping the Ferraris. Up to 2 seconds now, and then fighting each other, and soon having to fight off Alonso as well is going to help us. So, Hamilton a tenth faster exactly than Perez. Russell fraction faster than the pair of them. And the Ferraris 0.8 of a second slower. It's looking good. See, that gap is coming down. 10th here, 10th there. Russell got the gap down to about 1.5 seconds now. I think Perez is on a charge lap, charging his car up. Which is what we're going to do as soon as we get into DRS range. Let's just see if we can get into range
Happy to start reducing that
in the
match.
next DRS zone. Not this one, the one after.
Push and hold, overtake.
Not quite. But we can certainly get into the slipstream.
Reduce your speed. And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Still a chance for George to win this as well, with Hamilton not stretching the gap massively to Perez, just slingshotting Russell past Perez. Will get him very close to the back of Lewis, and there'll be no team instructions. They will be free to fight. Make Make sure we don't get dropped in this corner. There we go. Ferraris are just falling back very quickly. That bickering amongst themselves is not helping them at all. Alonso's right there as well. Where's Ocon? Ocon's at the 13th. I don't think he's going to really trouble the points, unfortunately for him. Perez is definitely looking after his tyres a little bit better than us. I'm very wary of Perez pushing very, very soon. That's why I'm not making a move with Russell. I'm just staying behind. He's going to fill this battery. I think a Perez charge is going to be inevitable in the next couple of laps. I don't want to waste my battery now, only for him to immediately take the position back in a couple of laps' time. Lewis has got enough pace, tyres and battery to keep Perez at arm's length if Perez does turn up the whip. George doesn't have enough to get clear of Perez yet. But he will next lap. And if Perez bolts on this lap, it's just going to bring Russell and Hamilton closer together. Is just holding steady at 2.8. Russell keeps it out the wall on the last lap. Yeah, we'll see, Antonio. You never know. We have had situations before where art has imitated life in this game. Not feeling the Perez push at the moment. Thought it was going to come, but it hasn't yet. It might come right now, actually. Now that we've made the move on him, he might start to immediately fight back.
That's currently P2.
I am going to have to push Hamilton at the same time in a second, just in case. I do not want to drag Perez onto the back of Hamilton as well. I want my two to fight it out in clear traffic without the threat of a Red Bull getting involved and stealing the position. But I'm waiting just in case. Yeah, Perez has not backed away anywhere. Well, we've not dropped him anywhere near as much as I thought we might do on that lap. First time we've watched one of my streams. Is Red Bull still a rocket ship? Well, we were a rocket ship in the first half of the season, but Red Bull's got their upgrades a little bit before we have in this stage of the season. So at the moment, they are probably the fastest car with Max. Perez is still a little flaky. And he's coming. He's coming with us. We are not able to drop him.
Let's push and get past him.
Use the overtake.
That's it.
Maybe him having DRS, Russell having DRS on the back of Hamilton might facilitate that. There we go, we finally broke him.
Charge the pack.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
Understood.
There we go, right. Have at it, boys.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Five laps.
I'm going to keep an eye on that gap to Perez. But we are going to let them fight. Because they are both going for the championship. Which reminds me, let's let them fight, but let's let them fight sensibly. There we go. No cowboy lunges. Russell has the edge on confidence, and he's going to get the DRS here, I think. Yes, he does. Are my drivers first and second? Yes, they are, comfortably, and just separated by no points, actually, at the moment. It's all square between the two of them. I think. No, Russell has 8-point advantage, doesn't he, Farron? So this is going to extend his gap.
4 to go.
If he can hang on for the win. He has been the quicker driver in terms of, you know, he's got 8 race wins to Lewis's 3 at the moment, but he hasn't been as consistent. Lewis hasn't been off the podium in a race that he's actually finished in, I think.
Head down.
Maybe once. George has had a few very low point finishes. Fastest lap is probably done now. Yeah, it's going to be Lewis who keeps it, by the look of it. Perez is lurking. Three laps to go.
3 remaining.
Let's watch the fight from Perez. No, this is second season.
So happy to push now.
Oh, Hamilton having a look. Couldn't get alongside.
Lap remaining.
2 laps to go.
You on the edge of your seat, Farah? Oh, Lewis tries to throw it up the inside. They're side by side. Don't take each other out, for God's sake. You got all you're going to get. I'm not giving either driver anything else. Yeah, you're watching it, in nervous because you're worried Hamilton's going to get through. I'm worried that Hamilton's going to hit George and take both of them out. Right, I think the threat of Perez is over. He's backed off. I have noticed the AI does tend to just fall off a little bit in the last couple of laps. That certainly seems to be the case here. Alonso has got past both the Ferraris. Really want to watch that fight, but I can't tear my eyes away from this, because this could have big ramifications for the title. Lewis is going for it. He gets alongside. He's going to sneak ahead, I think. But George might have the DRS for the next and final DRS straight. George gets past his favourite wall, so he's not going to bin it at the same place as he did in reality. George has the DRS open. He's not going to get him. Lewis is just going to steal this one. And this is going to square them back up again in the Drivers' Championship, back to 0-0. But hell of a fight back from George, with a little bit of luck. 19th to 2nd and just a couple of tenths off the win.
What a jump! What a race! Amazing!
Indeed. Close race though, very close. Alonso in the end did actually get comfortable over the Ferraris. 1.5 seconds to Sainz and then Norris. Norris actually just hanging onto 7th, holding off Gasly. Stroll gets 9th, just holding off Tsunoda, who does get a point. Ocon has to settle for 14th in the end. And it's Ricciardo and Hulkenberg bringing up the last of the cars that are running. Verstappen, Piastri and Bottas all retiring. Verstappen in spectacular start, bringing out the red flag which helped us win this Grand Prix.
Wow, what a fantastic drive from Lewis Hamilton.
It was a truly excellent win, with everything working together for the team and driver.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team. And Lewis Hamilton takes to the podium once more, adding yet another trophy to his legacy.
It gets even better for the team, with both drivers scoring a podium finish this weekend.
And you've got to think that Singapore will be buzzing now for many hours to come. And as proceedings start to wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karun?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
Spent all our money. This is what happens when you break the cost cap. You can't afford
And
to keep the lights
a big
on.
thanks to you all for joining us this weekend here in Singapore.
Next round will see us head east as F1 prepares for the Japanese Grand Prix. We'll see you at Suzuka, a firm favourite for the drivers.
Looking forward to Suzuka. Suzuka's going to be fun with those new upgrades. There we see Lewis gaining 8 places, Russell gaining 18 places, Sergio with a good result as well. He had a penalty and gained 9 places. Alonso with a penalty gaining 6 places. And then disappointment for the Ferraris, dropping down 2 places for Leclerc, 4 places for Sainz. Norris dropping down 3 places. He was looking strong in the first start, but he was never going to beat Max and ended up just falling down the order a bit. Everyone here just losing places, as you can see, the front 4 just cutting their way through the field. Ocon did recover a little bit, but yeah, bad race for him. A bad weekend for him, really. And then Max, thank you, Max. Putting it in the wall enabled us to get the 1-2. We would probably have had to settle for 2nd and maybe 3rd. Now we see all square again at the top of the Drivers' Championship, 307 against 307. But George still takes first spot because he has 8 race wins against Lewis's 4. So he was winning on count back on number of wins. Max is now pretty much out of the equation, I would say, with 7 races to go. There are 3 sprints, so there's still a lot of points on offer, but in reality he's 117 points off. It's unlikely, even with that Red Bull getting very quick again, that he's going to come back at us. As I say, we are about to slap on some new upgrades at Suzuka. Good points for Leclerc. Perez trying to hunt him down, actually closes the gap to just 4 points. Stroll gets another couple of points. No points for Ocon tonight. Has allowed Alonso to really close that gap up. He's just within 1 point now. And then Sainz scoring a few points. Can he turn his season around and maybe, just maybe, catch and pass Alonso or Ocon? I think he's probably got a better chance against Ocon than Alonso, but we'll see. He's not too far off. He's only 14 points off Ocon, Gasly with under 4 points. Lando in 11th with 6 more points. Now you can see Tsunoda gets another point. And that is the bottom part of the table, as you can see. Still no points for Ricciardo, Bottas or Schumacher. In the Constructors, it's another maximum points. And we are so far away ahead of Red Bull that we are probably going to earn the Constructors' Championship in the next couple of Grand Prix. Especially if Max keeps putting it in the wall like that. Ferrari do close the gap by 3 points to Red Bull. I don't think they're going to catch them. Ferrari just aren't there at the moment, but they are in a close fight with Aston for third, and they do outscore them by 4 points to move 6 clear. It's definitely going to be a very tough fight between these two teams here. And for those who are wondering, that one win for Aston Martin was not Alonso. It was Stroll, of all people. Lance Stroll getting the win. Alpine are in 5th place. I think they're too far behind Aston and Ferrari to catch them, but they are comfortably clear of McLaren. McLaren again, too far behind Alpine, well clear of Williams. Williams do score another point over Haas, whose form has really plummeted in the last few races, and I think Williams are probably going to finish in 7th now. Take a look at the pit stops. Once again, we get the fastest stops. We still haven't quite cracked that 1.9 second stop yet, but we are getting closer. But the rest of the field is getting closer to us. Look, Ferrari's Charles Leclerc getting very close to a 2.0 slot there. So we definitely need to improve the pace of our pit crew if we want to keep getting these fastest stops. That said, even if we do slip a little bit in the rankings, we are still miles ahead of everybody in the actual competition itself, so we're probably guaranteed to win that at this stage. And again, the only real battle that's going to loom, I think, is between Ferrari and Alpine. I think everyone else is pretty much locked in the positions they're in. And there you see the fastest stop is for George with a 2.031, a 2.034 for Lewis. So with rounding up, that is just 0.2 of a second difference. And then it was George with the 3rd fastest and Lewis with the 4th fastest stops. Let's take a look at how their fighting through the field went. I'm expecting to see some good numbers here. George with 26 overtakes, 11 failed, 10 successful defences and 7 failed. He was very busy today. 19 overtakes and 19 failed for Lewis, 8 successful defences, 3 failed. Some very, very good numbers there. And we got some more experience for Teo, so that is all good, especially as he's going to be taking over from Lewis next season. So bonuses, we pay out 500 grand to Lewis and 25k to George. In terms of our performance targets, we completed our finish position streak, which is nice, and we achieved all of our guarantees as well. So 5.1 mil in the bank, just as well, because we did go at least 2 mil into debt. And we have maxed out the team hub. Excellent stuff. Right. Let's see the annoying emails. Due to recent expenditure, Mercedes is now financially in debt. Well, we were for a very brief period, but we now have just under $1 million back in the bank. Although I think all the parts we need to make are being made, so I don't think we've got to worry about that. Team hub is upgraded. We are going to break the cost cap. That is pretty much a given, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're projected to finish about 6 million over the cost cap. We have already gone over the cost cap. Okay, let's see what that's done to our confidence with the board. It's okay. So yeah, they're obviously a little pissed with the finances. and we will get a fine at the end of the season, but we still have high confidence because we're still getting the results, so we're okay on that. They're happy with race performance. Another delighted, as you can see, a 1-2 in the last 2 Grand Prix again now. That's good to see. And we've already done the objective for for this part here, and we're on course to do this objective as well. Yeah, we just need to keep an eye on the finances. If we finish, if we incur more debt, we do risk pissing the board off to the point where we do actually risk our job. Let's have a look at car parts. So we need to swap out our front wing. Let's do that. There we go. We need to swap out side pods. There we go. And suspension. Good stuff. Right, we'll be putting new parts on, hopefully, for Suzuka. And if not Suzuka, then definitely for Lusail. But we do have that new engine now, which is good for both of our drivers. Right, what's the financial vote? As a way of rewarding excellence on the grid, we propose increasing prize money. No, we're going to vote against that because the smaller teams need more of a chance, I think. So it's only a small change to the percentages, but anything that takes money away from the lower half of the grid and gives it to the top half is not good, in my opinion. Even though we are currently at the top, we won't be next season, and I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm just doing it because I like the grid to close up. It makes for more exciting racing. So we are going to vote against that and see what happens. Right, we've already dealt with our car inspection, so let's advance. Before we do that, let's just check. So we have parts on the way. I don't think we're going to get them in time, all of them in time for Suzuka. So we are probably looking at Lusail for some of these parts. Let's have a look in the warehouse. We have no new side pods yet. We have one chassis. I'm going to wait till we've got it for both cars. We've still got spare front wings. Still got spare rear wings. No new side pods available, but we shouldn't need them for the next Grand Prix. We've still got a spare underfloor. No spare suspension, but we've got older specs while we wait for the new ones to be manufactured. So yeah, I think we don't have to spend any more money, which is good. Reducing the scouting and engineering teams would be the quickest solution. Well, yeah, we're not likely to do any more scouting. We've already made the changes for next year's staffing that we need to make, so we're going to actually get rid of the scouts. We can't carry that data across with us to the next team as well, so we'll just make sure we have a good look at it at the end of the season, so we've got an idea of where things are. But we will save a little bit of money on our weekly spend by getting rid of, or monthly spend by getting rid of the scouts. And there we go. That is everything that we need to get done. So we are ready for Suzuka, which is tomorrow night's stream. We'll be back at the usual time of 9 PM UK time. So until then, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream. If you have, please consider dropping a like. And if you're new, you can always consider a subscription as well, so that you can stay up to date with the live streams. And I will see you all with some more F1 Manager very soon.